Welcome all, Boone here from EWPRO. Wishing you all a happy and successful new year. Now getting onto the market, starting with the DXY, I'll go over the monthly chart. Very simple here, we got 5 up on the monthly chart. We got a nice impulse down here and we're getting, I would say, a correction. I'll be looking for a larger correction than this over here. Before possibly more upside. The reason I say we probably get more upside and this may turn into a flat and go and break that top is because we look on the lower time frames, this is starting to turn motive. I was looking for this A, B, C here up to that 100 fib. We're going way past that 100 fib. We're nearly up to that 123.6. So the next sort of target is this 161.8, which by the look of the price action, this is quite impulsive. So we may even get to this 161.8 before we get any correction. This may be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, just breaking that top, and then we get an A, a B, and a C in here as a larger correction before we get more upside. The daily, there's really not much at all. We've been waiting for a larger correction. We may have got some downside here, but yeah, it's gone up and broken the top there. So there's really not much at all on the daily. H4, we got the 5 up. We got this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one up now. And we do have a bearish divergence in here. So I am waiting for a larger correction. H1, we're getting bearish divergence on the H1 as well. So very risky to buy up here, but it is more bullish. This in here, if we go down to lower time frames, more than likely we'll get another one up in here. So there's nothing to suggest we'll get a lot like any downside at this stage. And if you're looking for buys, well, you're buying at the top of the market. You can see this in here on the M15 though, it's looking very bullish, and we do have a bull hidden here. So if you do get a buy set up, you could scalp it to go and break the top. AU on the monthly time frame. So I'm looking at this an A, B, C in here to finish off this B wave, and then we get that C up. We get a larger flat in here for an A, B, C. On the weekly, when my internet kicks in, you can see what we've been looking for. I'm looking for price to get down to this, possibly get down to this 100 fib here. That was for an A, B, C. It's very impulsive. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get down to that 100 fib, and then I'd be looking for that A, B, C. Daily time frame, there's really not much. We just got a move down. I have been looking for a correction, like in here, or a correction, but we haven't got that. It's just been one straight wave. It may just keep on coming down to this 100 fib. We get a bounce off that, a bullish setup, and then we could look for the buy. But yeah, there's no bullish signs as yet. There's nothing bullish about this. Even on the H4, we don't have any bullish divergence in here. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of a larger correction before we get more downside. H1 again. There's nothing really bullish about it. We never got a really nice impulse. So there really isn't much to buy. I mean, you could probably look at something like this in the flat here, but how far is it going to go? Probably won't go very far. So yeah, you know, I'd be really only looking for buys on the lower time frames because we have that bullish divergence, but it's not really giving us any nice setup to buy. So yeah, GU on the monthly, we got the 5 down here with the bullish divergence. I'm looking for a flat in here on the lower time frames. Been looking for this for a while. This A, B, C in here, and then we get an A, B, C. Just waiting for this wave in here to finish off, and yeah, there's no sign of that happening yet. Daily time frame, there's really not much like the other majors. Overall, we are getting bullish divergence in here on the H4. H1, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bear hidden in here. This is looking very corrective still. It may become very deep, not quite break that top, and then we get another lower low. So really, if we're buying, more than likely, in my view, it's just a correction and we get another one down. And like I said, possibly a bear hidden in here. There really isn't much to buy at all. As you can see on the M15, this is looking very corrective. It may go a little bit higher yet. Looks like we've got some sort of a flat in there for an A, B, get a C up. It may turn motive. The only way I'd really be considering a buy is if this top here gets broken. If this top here gets broken in a nice impulsive wave, well, then if we get a correction, I could look for a buy. Other than that, I think we'd just get a bear hidden in here and another one down on the shorter term. EU, we got these 5 down in here as well. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, excuse me, with bullish divergence. Very similar to GU. I'm looking for some sort of a flat in here to give us, 1, 2, 3 up. And it may even give us 5 up. I'd be sort of looking for a correction larger than these over here, and then possibly more downside. The weekly, looking for this A, B, C, like I've been looking for a long time, possibly up to this 100 fib. But again, this is going a little bit further than I would have liked. This correction in here, we got an A, B, C in here. It can turn motive, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just breaking the top, and then we get an A, B, C. Similar to what I was showing on DXY, and then we get more downside, so we get a larger correction in here. This has come down to nearly that 123.6. That's why I say this may turn rather motive. The daily, there's not much on it either. We didn't get a nice correction on the daily to sell. On the H4, we got the 5 down. we got the 5 down, and we have the bullish divergence. So really, you can really only look for buys, but it's not giving us any buy setups. You know, even this on the lower time frames looks corrective. I wouldn't be surprised, if we get a choppy wave correction in here and another one down, and we get a bear hidden in here. And we go and break that low again. So yeah, if you're buying, be careful. It's more of a scalp. Like GU, it's very similar on the M15. We're getting a correction in here. We got like an A, B, and we're getting a C up. It's very slow, so yeah, just be careful with your buys. It's more of a scalp the buy. NU on the monthly, looking for this C down. We got this A, B. We got a C down. This is becoming a very deep correction in here, though. We do have bullish divergence here. I think it's going to become more complex, as you can see on the weekly. I'm looking at this A, B, C in here. Again, this may turn motive. We're right at that 100 fib at the moment. If this comes down too much, I'd be looking at it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then possibly an A, a B, C, a larger correction and more downside. But at this stage, we don't really want to be looking for sells down here at the low. The daily, there really isn't much at all. It's just a one move down. The H4, we are getting bullish divergence in here. In this A, B, C. Really looking for buys, but again, we're not getting any of those nice buy setups at this stage. H1, we got the 5 down in here, and we lost the bullish divergence in the 5th wave. So I was looking for a larger correction and then more downside. That's pretty much what's happened, and now we do have bullish divergence. But once we go down to the lower time frames, it's very choppy. There's no real nice impulse. This is very choppy and corrective looking, so there's really nothing to buy at this stage. I mean, on the M15, this would really have to take off here. Well, it's more on the M30. I'd want to see a break of this top here. But again, I'd be very suspicious because this does look rather corrective. I wouldn't be surprised if we get another one down. GY on the monthly. Looking at, excuse me, looking at this like a B, and a C up in here before we get an A, B, C. On the weekly, we got a wave 3 up. Waiting for this wave 4. Looking at a 1, 2, 3. Get an A, B, C in here in the wave 4 before we get a 5th one up. On the daily, it's pretty much what we've been looking at, for a long time now. Get a correction in here, A, B, C, possibly up to that 100 fib. H4, we've been waiting for this B wave in here. We may be getting it now. So if we got a nice correction in here, you could look for a C down, like an a B, a C, before you'd be looking for a buy up to that 100 fib. H1, it's looking bearish. We were looking for this, like this A, B, C here, and I thought it may have gone up from there and broken that top. It's continued on to the downside, and in here it's looking very much bearish. So you definitely could look to sell this. You can see how corrective it's looking. I'd be very careful though. We're not actually getting a bear hidden in here. Uh, we didn't get a bear hidden, so but it does look very corrective. So more than likely, I'd be looking for downside. But yeah, if you're looking for the buy, be careful. UY on the monthly, looking for more upside. Looking at that 1, 2, 3, wave 4, and a wave 5. The weekly, looking at this a B, and a C in here. Wouldn't be surprised if this top here gets broken. But we are at the top of the market, so it becomes risky to buy up the top of the market. The daily, we've been looking at this for a while. This A, B, C in here. It's broken the top of the ending point of wave A. So again, it's getting risky. This does look like a flat here. Get A, B, C in here on the lower time frames. It does look bullish as well. If I quickly go down to the M15 here, this is looking rather bullish. Sort of got like 1, 2, 3 down here, impulse up. If you get a bullish setup in here, you could look to buy to at least go and break that top. UCAD on the monthly, we're getting 5 up in here. Getting this like 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth wave. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to this 123.6 or possibly even this 161.8 on the monthly chart. This is where it becomes quite interesting on the weekly. I'm sort of looking at a motive wave 3, or at this stage I've got it as an A, B, C, but we got an A, B, and we're getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. I'm looking at an extended wave in here, and this may turn into like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this wave 5 in the monthly. So yeah, I'm looking at it's very motive. And the reason I say that is because this went further than I thought. I was looking for this A, B, C up to this 100 fib. Price action's got up to this 123.6 already. So that's why I'm looking at it as motive. We may be starting to get the end of wave 3 here. We don't have any bullish divergence. We don't have any bearish divergence. So this may be choppy for a while. We may get a correction of similar size to this over here, and then a fifth wave up. This has happened on a lot of the pairs. We got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lost the bearish divergence, so we get a larger correction, larger than these over here, and then we go and break the top. We got a larger correction already, so maybe time to go and break the top again. Hasn't quite broken the top yet, but But again, we're right at the top of the market, so yeah, you have to be quite careful buying. The Swissy I think I've gone over this before, longer term. But what I'm looking at here is upside. I'm looking at like a 1, 2, 3 here, or it may even turn into 5 for a complex correction before we get more downside. So I'm looking at like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 here, or you could look at it as a 5, like I got it, and then 1, 2, 3 as a 3, 3, 3 or 3, 3, 5 before we get more downside. So I'm looking for this 1, 2, 3 up in here. So this like 1, 2, 3 in here, or like I said, it may turn into 5 as a 3, 3, 5. The weekly, we've got 3 down here. We've got this A, B, C here. Nice impulse up. Been waiting for a larger correction on the day on the daily. It still hasn't corrected. Ideally, we get a nice 50 pip retracement of this when this starts to correct. And then we look for that C up. H4, we got the 5 up. We got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. And we are getting bearish divergence on this one. It's really nothing to trade on it at this stage. You know, there's no impulse down. You know, we're getting all this bearish divergence here, but you know, I'd be expecting an impulse down, a correction, and then we can look for a sell. Until that really happens, you're pretty much staying out of the market, and that goes for pretty much all of them. As you can see on the M15, it still looks rather bullish. You know, this looks still rather bullish. Until this low gets broken, and you know, even then, because this is looking so choppy, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes and breaks that top. If you're looking for the buy, you're just pretty much scalping. EG on the monthly, we got like 3 waves up in here, then 3 waves down. I'm looking for, we sort of got 3 waves up in here, but this may be all of a correction here, and we get 3 waves up, like an A, all this is correction, and we get a C up here. It's becoming quite complex in here. Sort of looking at this as a like 1, 2, 3, or an A, B, C here. There's a few different scenarios here, though. You know, I was looking for this C down, like this A, B, C. We got that. Then we sort of had this flat in here, so it is becoming very complex at the low here. I'm not convinced this is going to go from here. We have come from a fresh low, which is good. You know, we have come from a fresh low. This may be an A sort of B, C here, a flat, and we get an A, B, C, or this may turn motive. The problem is on the lower time frame, it's not giving us a buy. It's more of well, after we got this correction here, um, where was it? An A, a B. I was looking for that to go. It didn't go, and it's come down, and this is looking bearish in here. So I think something's wrong. You know, I would have liked to see a correction here um, to buy after this flat. But instead, this is more bearish. So, you could scalp a sell, but again, you're right at the low of the market. I'm more interested in looking for buys, but yeah. Um, I'll just go over the daily, or else this video will take too long. I might do it on. I'll go over the monthly on this one, then I'll. But we're looking at this A, B, a C down here on this WTI on the monthly. We're getting all this in here on the lower time frames. Nothing's really changed. I've been showing this for a long time. Getting an A, a B, and a C. There's all these different like an A, B, C in here, flat, A, B, C in here, and then an A, B, C, like I've been showing before we get that larger A, B, C down. On the daily, I've been mentioning, I would have really liked to see this low here broken in this like A, B, C, that C wave to come down and break that low. It never did. This is turning very emotive in here at the moment. On the H4, I'm looking at an extended wave in here, um, in the wave three. So I'm looking at a one, two, extended wave three, four, and a fifth wave up. We're getting this one, two, three. You have to wait for this internal one, wave four, and then you could look for that wave five up. Um, Other than that, there's really not much on it. You're pretty much waiting for this wave four, and then you could look for the buy. Gold, we're looking for this wave four. We're looking for this like one, two, three, four, five. So we're waiting for this wave four in here. Let's see what I'm looking at on the H4. I'm looking at this A, B, and a C up in here before we get this larger A, B, C. This in here is looking very choppy. I would have liked to be a little bit more impulsive. Um, but yeah, I think it's still more bullish. We've sort of got like one, two, three, may get some sort of a large correction similar size to this over here before we get a fifth one up. We don't have any bearish divergence, so it's more bullish in my view on the shorter time frames. But yeah. Silver, we got the five up in here. We got that one, two, three, four, five up to the first target. Then we had this like one, two, three down. So it's more bullish. As you can see, we got that one, two, three down in here. I was looking for upside in here, like, but it's fell over. Like I was looking for one, two, three up in here, or turns motive. It didn't play out and it come down, and I think it may have even broke the low on this chart or this broker. Didn't quite break the low, but it's very deep, so still can look at it as an expanding flat here, but yeah, I mean, really, you'd want a nice correction in here, and then you could look for the buy. Until you really got this nice correction, I'd pretty much be staying out because it may come down and break that low, and this is an A, B, C here. It comes down, breaks the low again. So you want a nice correction before you start to look for the buy. Bitcoin. So we're looking, we are getting this wave 4 now. Looking at this 1, 2, 3, some sort of a wave 4 here, and we look for that wave 5 up. H4, I'd be looking at something like this. This is the B wave, um, like an A, B, C in here. A, B, C, larger correction, A, B, C, before you get the larger A, B, C. Looking for a larger correction than these over here. But yeah, there's really not much on this. I mean, we're right at the top of the market. Um, I'd be very careful. Uh, Although it has given like 3 down in here, A, B, C here, that flat, and it's given us an A, B, C here. So yeah, it may take off, but I don't really see a trade on it. That's the problem at this stage. Um, yeah, S&P 500 right at the top of the market. Um, Sort of looking at a flat here. I would have liked a larger C down to get in before we get more upside, but it's just yeah, it's just keep on going up. This very difficult. I'm pretty much staying out of this. I like to trade this instrument, and I've pretty much been staying out of it for quite a while now. Right up the top of the market, and yeah, it's really not much on it. I mean, if anything, you'd be looking for a buy. You'd be looking for some sort of an A, a B, and a C up in here. So you'd be looking like Monday, Tuesday for a correction in here, and you could look for a buy. AU 200, very similar, looking for more downside, for at least an A, B, C, a little bit more downside in here, but it's not falling over. It's not giving a very deep C wave down. This is more bullish in here. You pretty much missed this trade if you trade this. If you're not on it, you pretty much missed it. Um, you know, you'd be looking at that for at least an A, B, C. So you've pretty much missed this opportunity to buy um, if you trade this instrument. The FTSE, like I've been mentioning, this still looks very much bullish. It's a large, complex correction in here, but it's still very much bullish. It's very difficult. I mean, you'd be pretty much getting chopped to pieces. There was a nice buy opportunity in here by the look of it, but yeah, you pretty much missed that. If you're not on it, you've pretty much missed it. I wouldn't be surprised you get more upside in here, but we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth wave up. You are sort of getting a correction in here on the lower time frame, so you may be able to get in on it. If you got a nice impulse up in here, um, a bullish setup, you could look for it just to go and break the tops, basically. But yeah. And lastly, the DAX, right up the top of the market too on the daily. This is looking rather bearish. So you could start to look for a sell in here for like 1, 2, 3 down. And it may even turn motive. Um, so yeah, I'd be looking for a sell. It does look like we've got 3 up in here. some sort of a triangle for one A, B, C. It's not really giving us a nice sell setup. For the sell, I'd like a nice impulse down on the lower time frames here. And something to sell, correction to sell. It's not really giving that. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.